Hey, Linda. I'm a little bit early, not much, but a little bit. How are ya? Who's here? Malia. You lurk all you want to, girl. Hey, Beck. I love watching y'all's hauls. Our Goodwill isn't as good as yours. Hey, Joan. How are you, darling? Wait a few more minutes. See who shows up. Uh-oh, the babies are home. It's one of the spin art things I tried once. Let me shut the door. Hey, I'm filming. Okay. I know. I'm getting it. Man-childs are so much fun. What I am doing is looking through here for jelly prints that could be enhanced. I don't even know what that is. Because I just got to thinking that I fluffed through a lot of these. Here's some deli paper from some restaurant or other. I flip through these all the time and pass over a bunch of them. So I need to get them out and do something to make them usable. I'm not really doing much bright color stuff right now. So that's what I'm doing. This book is kind of a mess. Too many times I've not put stuff back in the binder. But, you know, it's okay. It's just us, right? When I started jelly printing, back when it first came out, I didn't, well, nobody else did either for that matter, know quite what made it tick. So I've got a lot of things in here that just have one layer on them. I've got some others that are super thick paint. Ooh. That's an example of an ugly. We'll save that. And maybe this. Candy colors. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I'm getting a bunch just right out of this. And this doesn't count the ones that are on my rollie back here behind me. Okay. Tuck all you back in. I will clean you up later. This is Shannon Green's Custom Keeper. They are fabulous, and I'm using my paper ever so much more now. I've got a bigger book that I'm going to put together one of these days. It's the bigger one. It's just the bigger one, okay? Now, put this little lady up. I think I could still do some more on her, but we're not going to do it today. Now, let me see who snuck in while I was talking. Oh, man, Beck. $133? No wonder that guy wanted it so bad. Hey, Gail. Gail sent me some gorgeous artwork to look at the other day. And I wrote her back to say, hey, I got it. All's good. Now I got to get back to you. Yeah, Malia, they're great. I love that method. And she's got them on sale all the time. So slip over there and find a couple. I got to get rid of these straight pins. I don't need them for anything. Vicki threw something away. Now tomorrow she'll be looking for it. Okie dokie. I think put those right there. You know, I've got my big jelly plate here. I had to take down the corners of the plastic. I take great care not to put anything sharp or that might imprint anything heavy. Because it was really in more danger floating around in here. Come off. Oh yeah, my perfect. Here, up there. Now, I've got a matte medium here that's just about empty. Can't get the top off, so we'll cut this. I was a little bit late getting ready today. See all that's down in there is wonderful. And you can close it by just putting this, pleat that one, and just put this down. And it'll help keep it fresh for a few days if you've got too much. This is the Simply Acrylic from Walmart, De La Rowney, and I like it a lot. I use it a lot, or I did when I was doing more of this kind of stuff. So, I need something to put it on with. about the palette? If I can find one. I didn't come in here yesterday, so whoops, that's still wet. Anyway, I had my monthly visit with my therapist. Y'all didn't know I was crazy, did you? Well, I am. I've got a buttload of plastic. I've got so many palette knives around here and can't find them when I want them. So we'll use these. I'm just going to spread a little bit of this on. Yeah, I'm going to let that dry. What y'all been working on? Hey, Jersey. I enjoy the hell out of going. But we're kind of down to once a month now, so she helped me process some grief shit. Yeah, after, 17 years, you still have it. It's not the grief like it was in the beginning, because then you can't even talk about it. But it was, it's more like how and why, and did I do good enough, that kind of stuff. And then we flip off into talking about YouTube lives, and it's fun. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to cool heat it. Now I need some. Right there it is. Right there. Or some Indian ink, as some people like to call it. Oh, there's a bottle right there. Didn't have to get it. All right, we're going to just pour it into this. It'll clean up good enough. I spent at least an hour and a half last night looking through AliExpress and Wish for nice handmade calligraphy brushes. There's a couple places here that sell them, not here, but in the States that sell them. But they're really expensive. Like a couple $100. And I don't need one, but I sure do want one. Well, how these brushes got upside down in the bucket. Okay, it's almost dry. Oh man, I hate having my teeth messed with. Actually, I think a sign of being healthy is going to therapist is distilled in Russia. Vodka drinker much, Simon? I am working on some old jelly prints done from when I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And they're okay, but now I'm into the more muted stuff. So I'm just going to work on these a little bit more because I've been dying to do more jelly printing, but I can't do it. I made myself not do it until I got some of this done. Okay, what does the matte medium do? Remember when we used these color shift paints and the cheaper paints, the inexpensive ones like the Simply from Walmart? They are a little thinner, which means they have more medium or acrylic binder in them, which makes them great for jelly printing because you get a clear, clean, you can see through it. That's what I mean. And matte medium will basically do the same thing because all of those, I'll just take that down. All of those matte mediums, they're basically the same. They're an acrylic polymer. So for example, this glazing liquid is real thin, where the matte medium is real thick. 100% acrylic polymer dispersion. But what I was trying to do, or picked up from everywhere that I was trying to get knowledge, is that you thin acrylic with water. Well, you could do it up to about 20%, 15, 20%, and any more than that, you're ruining the bond between the polymer color, the pigment and the color, where it doesn't stick together. It's not stable. You spread it too thin, it's likely to peel. And we're talking about, mica size stuff. But that's why you don't put a whole lot of water. And if you want to thin down an acrylic color, you use something like a glazing liquid that's already real thin. So that's my poipus. And now what I'm going to do is use one of my brushes. Let them get good and wet. And I'm going to do some of my goddess writing on here and then let that dry. And then the India ink will pick up through the layers that we add from here on. So in other words, I'll get one pull with the ink really coming kind of through, and some of it will stay on the plate till later. And I'm making this up as I go along. Well, welcome, Simon. You can hit anybody's name on the left, their little icon. It'll take you to their channel, and you can subscribe or hit notifications. And that's the way you'll build a list of the people you like to work with or like to listen to. And we all do appreciate it. All right. All right. I just wet this brush. And now I'm going to do some goddess writing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And different. This is just made up. I'm just letting the brush do the work. But some days it'll be small, and some days it'll be big, some days angular, and some days round. This will not work on a clean plate. It's got to have some kind of acrylic covering the plate. It'll just bead up just like watercolor does. The matte medium makes it smooth enough, makes the stickiness of the plate go away. Now we're just going to let that dry for a minute. There goes my nose, right on schedule. Let me get the hairdryer. This hairdryer is on cool. Oh, hello. Now this is dry, or drying. It's not quite dry. All the stuff around the edge that's so dried and crusty will come up the more I work with the plate and get it seasoned. Get it seasoned, really. I mean, the stuff that I'll be doing, I'm going to break up some of that. The more acrylic that I put on this, the more this becomes more receptive to pulling up. If you haven't tried jelly printing, Shannon Green, let me put her on here. Did some really, really nice something's this one. Some jelly plates that really worked well. She made them at home. So there are recipes out there. Did I get that? Not really. There are recipes that I'm trying to fix the glare in this light. Not doing very good, am I? Anyway, you can make your own with glycerin. There are some recipes that you have to keep in the refrigerator and they mold. But this recipe, this particular recipe, there. Got it. It's just a paper towel put over the bottom of that light to cut the glare. Anyway, you can make your own first. It's glycerin and I'm not sure what all else. And then if you like doing it, you may want to buy one. But the ones that she made worked beautifully. We taught a class together with them. So this is a riff on monotype printing, which is what Degas did, where you do a plate. This is a plate, and you make marks or whatever. You put ink on it, and then you pull a print. Degas used them for his ballerina dancers. He would draw the outlines of the ballerina dancers in black, and then pull a print. And sometimes he could get a secondary print. And then he would take those and he would do his pastels on top of it. So that's monoprinting, and it means that you really only get one unique pull. You can get a second pull sometimes, but it's not unique to the first one. Also, in times past, they called it gelatin printing, which is what this mimics. It's a plastic version of the gelatin that I just told you about. Okay, I went through my books and found some things that are in colors that I just don't use. And like I said, when I started jelly printing, it was all the paint you could put on it. It took them forever to dry. And so I'm just going to add more to it. I'm going to move my jelly print, my near twos. Now, the color shift paints dry almost, they're almost transparent. This is so near the end of the bottle, but I keep getting a little bit. Never fear, I have a bigger one. This is the bigger size from Hobby Lobby. Now this looks garish, and I just said that I was going to tone down these prints. These two colors together make a beautiful olivey green. It's more orange. It's kind of a real organic color. We want it real thin because that's what makes this really, really work well. I'm going to roll it off over here on the side, which is one thing I like about using this great big plate. And let's see. If you want to do pulls that are one-time pulls and you get all the junk and stuff, the first pull, like you want it to have 5 or 6 layers on each pull, then you need to let each layer dry first. So let's do that. I don't think too many of y'all have seen that. Now, we're still transparent. You can still see my hand under there. So now what I want to do is take a little bit of this golden glazing fluid. And I've got these house paints. They're so cool because they come in, you know, like somebody just wanted to test one. Where's my stick? I try to always put these things lid down so the air can't get in, but I didn't. The thing I like about these house paints is that they're dull finish for the most part. Let me see what this one says. Probably says semi-gloss, satin. Okay, good enough. We don't waste any paint when we're doing this. Okay, now I'm going to put some of this into some of that. And I want to thin it down. That's what I'm doing. Now I could add a little water. Which I believe I will do. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just a little. See, that paint was clumpy. See, it's kind of soupy. And it will also make it a little more translucent, meaning you can kind of see through it, but it's not opaque. Be careful when you use metal things with these plates because they will scar the plate if you're not careful. I'm using just an old credit card. I don't want to cover the whole thing. Put that back. I want clear wax. Good grief. This is Chalky Finish American Decor, which is by ooh, look at that. It looks like whipped cream. It's made by Deco Art. Now, when they're thick like that, the water isn't as big a factor. Because they've evaporated, so they can use a little more water. I've got a whole drawer full of these paints. This is what I love, are the organic marks that you get by just cutting through it. And I'm going to dry that. I'm just building up layers here, and then we're going to see if it worked. Y'all are my guinea pigs. All right, anybody got any questions? You saying my singing doesn't mean anything, Joycey? Up yours. I'm not using. Oh, Simon. Anything, any kind of paper, from bond paper to rice paper, calligraphy paper, deli paper is a favorite. That's what your sandwiches are wrapped in when you get one. This stuff is fabulous because once it glues down for collage, it disappears except for the paint. God, Simon, I think I love you. Yeah, thanks, Gail, for stressing that. Rosemary, Rosemary and I are going to play with pan pastels on jelly plates. In fact, I think I'll go get mine. And their shoes fall off if they're in the quicksand. Yeah, scrap paper, magazine pages. But the point to my thinking is I'm making my own papers for my own collage. Now I want to keep it neutral. So a couple of these will be kind of cool. For those of you who don't know pan pastels, they are pastel pigments that have a minimal amount of binder. Regular stick pastels have binders in them that make them hold a stick for them. And because these are in a pan, they don't have to hold any form, and the pan keeps them where you can work with them. So they are more powdery than a I've had these since 2005, first year they came out. And there's nothing wrong with using pre-bought stencils at all. Let's see, I was going to show Simon. This is, okay, it's too close to the cabinet. This is the kind of intuitive journaling, Simon, that I've been doing. I've been working with a lady named Robin McClendon, and that's ROBYN. And because I have so many bright pages, I have to use them. But I really want to get where I'm more neutral. Nothing. These are not anywhere close to neutral. But I'm using papers that I have either mono printed, or these are encaustic monos. See, here's a neutral. That's more where I need more of that, is what I'm trying to say. I need more papers like that. These are from stamps I carved. How's that for neutral? And that one's not too bad. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing today, is just using some of these bright papers that I keep skipping over. So that's the method to my madness. I could use one of my stencils, but I don't know where they are. I've got a couple of stencil girls over here. That's not fun. Now we're still fairly translucent. I'm going to try next a crayon, because I had these out the other day on Tuesday. Pick a light color. I don't know if this is going to do anything or not, but we're going to try it. This is a distressed crayon by Tim Holtz, or, Ranger. It is working. The reason it's working is because we've got something on the plate to capture it. Oops, that's what you call having two stencils at the same time. Smooth move, X-Lax. That's another smooth move. It's a good thing the silicone watch band cleans up. And like I said, it's perfectly fine. Robin is a professional bookbinder, educator, and so she likes to make sure she uses her own products, her own creativity for the papers and stencils. Now we're still dry because we were using pan pastels. over here. These are cool. They're a bitch to do for yourself, so sometimes it's just easier. I'm gonna put a little more cream. Perfect. Now, when I'm through playing with this, let that dry. I'm going to use some of this champagne. This is folk art. And make a wet layer and then we'll pull it. The bad thing is I want to pull it with a clean piece of paper, and that's not the drill today. You can get these folk arts at Walmart cheaper than Hobby Lobby. If they have them in stock. All right. Let's take this beautiful one pull wonder. Thinner papers you cannot leave on as long. I killed it. I killed the magenta. Doesn't matter if your paper rips, you can use it in collage. Or you can take pages and make books out of them. It's just the process of the Gelli plate printing is so relaxing. Straight pen. I can feel it under the plate. But you'll end up with a ton of papers. Okay, it's pulled off quite a bit. I see this bright blue right here. This was on the plate from some other point in time. Now that got dry pretty quick. I'm going to put some of this orange on. Get in the habit of always closing your paints when you've used them. This is another 1 or 2 layer. And I'm just pressing the paper down, hoping that I picked some of this old stuff up. And what I'm also doing is building layers. All of these layers will come up for a long time, pieces of them. Because we're using really thin layers too, we'll get really thin layers. Oh, they don't take long to dry. This is one of the more expensive paints I use for these processes. I really prefer the folk arts because the thinness works to my advantage, but occasionally you want something a little bit different. They aren't expensive, but they last forever. I'm not really worrying about color harmony, so we may end up with a big, huge mess. Another strange but true. A stronger paper, this is a bond paper. You can leave it on there till the underneath layer is practically dried, and you'll do what's called a cleanup print, where it will pick up a lot of layers. Or, you know, it's theory anyway. And then you can pick up a corner and peek, and then put it back down, and you come over here and get a peek. I think we're just going to, oh, look, we're getting some goodies there. Ooh, yeah, we're getting some good stuff on this one. It still may look like caca when we get through, but sometimes bright colors will work really well. Remember the first layer we put on? That's what this is. Here is Americana Decor, Chalky Finish. Fina Calcare or Acabado Tipo Tiza. I like Acabado Tipo Tiza. Let's see what this one's looking like. It has been upside down. And it looks like thick sludge. Some of these things do have a shelf life, so I'm just mixing it right on top of the whitish color. This is kind of a neutral putty color. Let me move part of this over. No formulas here, guys. Thin coats. I wish I was one of those people that invented techniques, but I'm not. I'm pretty good at following. Here's another odd color combination. This is on painters, what do you call it? It's what painters tape around windows and stuff when they're getting ready to spray walls. You can get it at Lowe's and Home Depot. You can order it online. And it's got a little bit of a waxy coating to it, but not much. Archivalness, not much. But once it's encrusted in layers of acrylic, but it's a nice weight. It's a lighter weight than craft paper. Chunkies. You need 14 lunchroom tables to do this. Let me see what else I got in here. This is a beautiful yellow. This one is the Waverly Chalk. I got it at Walmart. It used to be in the decorating department. And then they moved it into crafts, and they're also making it in a smaller jar, which I recommend. Ooh. All right, we'll get down in there. If you open one that does seem to be kind of clotted, just spray some water in it. But I tell you what, keeping them upside down has helped. Okay. Couple drops. Couple drops. And here's another golden. This is iridescent bronze. Just a couple of drops here and there. Like I said, OCD people don't care for jelly printing quite so much because you can't control it. You never know what's going to come up. Here's another one of those reddy bluey things. And this is deli paper again. I'm glad I decided to do this. I'm going to be able to use these a little better. Nothing wrong with bright colors. I just like to have an assortment. I think that's kind of pretty through there. I've got some pretty parts. Let's put this one back on and see if we can get a second. Oh, not much. This is another Daily Brownie from Walmart, Simply. I haven't done this in a while. All my tubes are. It's a beautiful portrait pink, but when you put it on your plate, it just kind of acts like white. Doesn't have to be covered completely. Oops. Doesn't matter if your paper folds and crinkles, because that just adds to the final. Or whenever you get tired of doing it, maybe final. I'm going to come back and chat here in just a second. I got to be careful at this point because I'm on the opaques and I don't want to cover up everything that was on the previous. All these black marks are from the previous. I'm thinking. Not thinking too hard. It's Folk Art Metallic Silver. Woo, pretty, pretty, pretty. Said I was going to go on chat. That's a nice heavy piece of paper. So let me see what y'all are talking about. Real thin layers, Jersey. Jersey's stream has the best chat in the whole world, and she just does something with her hands to keep them busy, and they talk. Yeah, people correct me sometimes, but whatever your handle is more than likely what I'm going to say. Wendy. Lovely Malia. I used to be so OCD that I'd make my bed before I got out of it. Barb Owens keeps a list at her desk for people who have handles, and she looks them up. And I am not the best jelly printer in the whole world. I just enjoy you guys so much. I was telling my therapist today, I said, I think we're all just a little bit crazy. But the thing I like, one of the things I like about the chat is that we're all equal. We don't necessarily know what color we are, what religion or politics we are, or age. I mean, I could be on here and be best friends with somebody who's 21, and it doesn't matter. Well, that's about ugly. See what I mean about the pulls with flat? Okay, I think it's time for some more color shift. This is Pink Flash. Especially with that green, it might be good. Back to a translucent to see if we can add any more to this. Still a little bit damp, but that's okay. Now then, that is a collage-worthy piece. Even though it looks really bad, that's collage-worthy. Let's put this one back on here. We're starting to get some pull up. See, this looks like old walls that have peeled. All right. Let's go back to this pinky blue one. Now the paint underneath is beginning to get activated. So that's when all those crunchy bits are going to start pulling up. It's kind of a stamping process that you can pull. Okie dokie. We did the teal. There's just celery. That's kind of close to that, but no, I must spray a little bit of water in there. And this is the Waverly again. When I found that this made a good ground for jelly printing, that was why I bought so many of them. Well, you know, because they were there too. Trying to hit some of those that are already cleaned. Yeah, what am I going to do? This is Martha Stewart's glitter. It's called Florentine Gold. This is mica that is just swimming in liquid clear acrylic medium. Oops. First thing I've dropped. But this is real fine. It's not glitter at all. It's more of a mica. I like that. I'm not going to do that. This is the other side of it. And in the beginning, I was printing on front and back. And that's not such a good idea. Because if you like both sides, you're stuck. You can use pieces. This is my kind of stuff here. I know some of y'all are going, oh, just, yeah. Getting better. Let's do some copper. This is Folk Art Metallic Copper. I'm going to have more in the floor. If you get too much, just wipe it over there because it'll dry. Let's see. There's another one of those levels. I've been back in. No, I haven't since Tuesday. I didn't come in here yesterday. So I haven't completely finished restoring what was on my hard drive over here. I didn't finish doing anything with my watercolor pans. Got some real good stuff going on in there. Let's put a little bit more of this greenish. Not covering the whole thing. Let's try this deli paper. If you go into a sandwich place and like their deli paper, stick your finger in your dimple and ask them if you could have just a few sheets. You collect a lot of deli paper that way. You can also buy deli paper at Sam's, plain white, and kitchen supply stores sometimes have it. Ooh. Ah. That's old. Now look at that. That didn't turn out half bad. Side-eye. Let's try this little scrap. I don't think there's enough left. I picked up a little. You catching my drift on all this stuff? Pluses and zeros are old world symbols. I'm just going to try to pick up some of that extra. I don't want to get paint. This has one stencil on it. Now I'm going to do some white. Gosh, I found one that wasn't even opened. I think, now I know why, because I've already emptied one of them. So childproof, a senior can't get into it. See, that consistency is a whole lot less than good acrylics. Let's do just a cleanup. Again, thin. One thing, you don't want it to take forever to dry. Your papers, that is. This is brown deli paper. I think I probably scobbed that at a restaurant. Yeah, they line the bread bowls with it too. Now we ought to start getting some more of that stuff around the edge. Yep. I didn't pull up any in that corner. So let's see. Let's put some more matte medium on, because it'll be clear. And I'm trying this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. If I can hurry up and get it on there before it dries, then I might get a cool print. I don't know what that is. Sprays, maybe? I don't know. We're going to put that right here. And we got another green, kind of greeny one right there. When these first came out, everybody said, oh, don't use inks. Oh, don't let the paint dry. You'll ruin your plate. That lasted about 3 years, I guess. Then it was, all bets are off. Ooh, baby. See, isn't that nice? Beautiful for collages. Okay, check chat. Let that sit there for a minute. Now, why did there? Okay, never mind. Hey, Mary. Mary's on dark 30 in the morning. Gail, I'm the same way you are. Seems like I have an earplug in my ear all the time. And it's not much fun just to listen. You know, I want to be in the chat. Anybody have any questions I've missed? Well, that's what I use, Gail, is my iPhone or my iPad. And what I add is that I'll listen to y'all's YouTubes on my iPhone, and then I'll be on Twitter or something else on my iPad with my light. Ooh, we picked up some. Put that down. Oh, there with the iPhone. Okay, that paper got a little bit too long. Yeah. No harm, no foul. I can't tell where they are. Oh, there. Not bad, not bad. Picking up that grunge. Okay. See if I can get any more out of here. And this one's going in the trash. All right. I think I pretty well got it all. And never fear, I have another. Let's do a little bit of this. Now we've got a lot of blank spots, so maybe we'll get something interesting. Jersey and Rejoicey, and they all had a big time in the chat. This is my journal. And nobody was mean to anybody. How about that? Quick lay down. I just want to get some of the bad stuff off. Not bad stuff, but the stuff that takes forever to dry. else do we have? Ooh, here's I'm not a warm person. I'm not a warm color person. I'm more a cool color person. Now we're going to draw that. Uh-oh. Steady-o. Yeah. Crapalanch. I don't think anything was hurt except that my pen pastels were under where they hit. We're not going to panic. They'll be fine. Yeah. Uh-oh. You know, I've kind of got things cleaned up in here, but when you're working on something, you need space. Okay, I've got to put something down on there to pick all that up. I'm going to put down see what an olivey green, that turquoise, and these were back in the days when I went through every aisle at Hobby Lobby, and anytime there was a stencil on sale, I bought it without any regard to what I was going to use it for. That's one of them. I could probably use it. Let me get a good water. That reminds you of your room, Jersey, when all that stuff fell? Ooh. I think that's kind of why I went to these little yogurt cups. They don't tilt over because they're bigger on the bottom. Yeah, I'm on spending time out too, my dear. Ain't no crime to be poor. It's just inconvenient. And believe it or not, I think most people in the world experience it from time to time. Oh, good pulls. Look at that. Now, see, that's a usable print now, in my humble opinion, because it kicked that orange back. I like that. What else have we got? This is a beauty. I don't think I'll get anything. Let's do this. Let's put just a Mod Podge. See if we can get any more of that juicy stuff off of there. Oh, these are labels I did. I will completely obliterate that. And that. All right, let's see what we got up here. About a sheet of 90-pound water. Oh, no. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Here's some vintage paper. And these little paisleys, I carved those out of a wood block. I wonder if the warmth of your hand makes it pick up. Got a lot of it. That's neat looking. That's nice looking neutral. Side-eye. No, those crusties have just been sitting there waiting for me to come along and recapture them. This is not bad. I want to put under there to capture it. One of my favorites. This is Folk Art Dark Chocolate Metallic. Not far from that iridescent bronze. Let's take this. I had fun with the spinner. I got a Crayola one that's got a push button. It works really well, except you're limited in size. So then I got one of those cheapy fans they sell at the checkout counter, took the top of it off, and taped a piece of foam core to the screw that made it go around. That's kind of cool. You can see the stripes through it. Well, guys, I think I accomplished what I set out to do today. See, now that works for me. In a strange way, that works for me. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with this chocolate. And again, it's translucent. I'm going to get the bottom half because I got that one corner, remember? And then now get this one. So that's why you're seeing through now some pickup edges. You see, you could fold this and turn it into a journal spread. Real easy. Who knows? We may do that someday. Looks like a train wreck, but it's not to me. It's not. Oh, this is the label one. I'm going to put some white down kind of like that. Look at all this yummy goodness over here for the next session. Just make a few marks. Now this is liable to pull all the labels off. I don't mind brighter colors, but I just don't want them to be so front and center for the kind of work I'm doing right now. And that's the only reason. Because I love color. Now then. See, that's not half bad. What time is it? 5:43. We've been on here almost 2 hours. Hour and a half is about my happy spot. Yeah, Jersey, one of these days I'll get that spin art thing back out again. I can't show you right now. I can't put my hands on it, but I built like a corral around my fan thing in the middle with paper that kind of stood up on its own and then spun it. And I got the neatest patterns all the way around on that paper. It was awesome. And I also got paint splatters on some of the brushes, but anything that was in reach of that splatter, got some of it. I sure do. Hey, Beth. Never thought about it. That salad spinner. I thought I needed to be doing bigger pieces of paper. This is neat. Look at those colors underneath. See, that wasn't a bad jelly at all. Not bad. That will be used. Okie doke, folks. We got a lot of it off. Sure do want the rest of that. Not that. This. It is. Which of these beauties are we going to try to get that on? I didn't do anything on that one. Hold my beer and watch this shit. I'm kind of cheating. There's the phone again. At least it didn't fall down in the other mess. I actually put that on the side I wasn't really great on. I was going to put it on here. That wasn't, like I said, that wasn't where I was going to put it, so it doesn't matter. That needs some more help. Okay, guys, I think I am done. When do you sound like me? Vicki Lou, Wiki, Wickster. See, what is it that Gene always, not Gene, Joan, I think. Bucky, Vucki, that's a typo name. Jersey, you being nice. By the time y'all get your names figured out, I'll be long gone. Where do you live, Baton? Or who's got the gravy? Who's got the gravy? Wendy. Where do you live, Wendy? Somewhere south? It's all in the roux, baby cakes. Now you'll tell me you're from Louisiana and I'll go, never mind. Now, some of these things just refuse to come up after a good session of activating like this. Then you just pick them all, peel right off. Got a little bit. This is the grunge I like to use. It's just right there. We gotta try. I gotta try again. If y'all need to leave, I understand. Lord knows I can't stay in every chat that I start or every YouTube I start. Got some good stuff going on over here. Not much. Okay. I am so glad y'all came in. See, it just peels off. And Simon, if you're still here, thank you for coming in. Thank you for thinking I was a teacher. Y'all see why I can't do manicures? Just rolling right off. Yeah, we get to make some more. Ooh. Let me get a clean wet wipe. I don't think there's anything left on here. But you don't want to waste any, so if you can get it off. That was a smooth move, X-Lax. Although it really doesn't matter if I've got, this is old. I mean, this is from some other session that it's got this clump on it. But that doesn't really matter. Now I get to start collecting all over again. Okay, that goes in here. Try to clean off some fingers before I go out there and get smudges all over everything. Okay, guys, I will see you at the next fun time on YouTube. I'm like y'all, and then I'm on some YouTubes that I like that have nothing to do with crafts, so I kind of got to watch those sometimes too. Clean plate, clean enough for me anyway. All right, anybody got anything else? I really appreciate y'all coming in because I know you've got other choices. Thanks, Gail. I'm kicking off too. Jersey, Joan, Rosemary. Yep, 2 hours is enough of me. Okay, over and out. I love you guys. Take care, and I will see you in the YouTube world. Bye.